Well, welcome back to another edition of Voice of the Veteran, and today we have a very special guest, Deborah Westbrook.
Yes.
Thank you for being here. I'm glad to see you.
Thank you for having me, Bob. This is fabulous.
Oh, absolutely. Now, you are a public defender.
I am a Chief Deputy Public Defender at the Clark County Public Defender's Office.
Oh, we got the chief with us today.
Yes, I'm the chief.
And how long have you been doing that?
So I've been at the Public Defender's Office for just about 9 years now in June, and I've been in their Appellate division the entire time. So what I do is when a client gets convicted of a felony and they need their appeal to the Supreme Court, I will look through the record and figure out if there are any good issues that I can raise on their behalf and show why the trial was unfair, why they should be entitled to have another shot at prevailing in the district court.
And I understand you work with a lot of veterans.
We do. Our office, as the public defender's office, we take people that don't have the financial resources that typically most people would have. Yeah. And so there are a lot of indigent veterans that come into our care. And we try to do everything that we can to help them, make it through the system. There are some wonderful veterans treatment programs available in the court system. The Veterans Treatment Court, that is a diversion program that enables a veteran to not have to deal with some of the more severe consequences of a crime, in recognition of the fact that they've contributed to our community and they need to be, that service needs to be recognized.
Sure. Let's face it now, when anybody, there's a lot of them, not just the veterans, but anybody, when they come to court, they're scared to death.
Oh,
They don't know what to say, do, or expect. Now, when they come in, and their case comes to you, they don't really meet with you, do they?
So what happens when a case comes to me, my clients are typically already incarcerated in the Nevada Department of Corrections. So what I typically do is I will write a letter, because they can't typically communicate otherwise until they know how to get in touch with me. So I'll send them a letter. I let them know, this is who I am. I'm handling your appeal. Please give me a call. And so they'll initiate the contact once they have my contact information. We will speak about the issues in their case. And then after I've had a chance to review the entire record, I generally set up a meeting where I travel to whichever area they are incarcerated in. Usually it's High Desert State Prison, which is a little bit north of Las Vegas. Okay. And so I'll drive up there and I'll spend a few hours kind of going over their case with them and explaining, what I see as the best issues and talking to them about, what they think, they would like me to raise. I can't always do that.
Oh, sure.
Because, sometimes there's a disconnect in what the good issues are.
Yeah, sure.
So they're relying on me a lot of times to know.
Well, they got the chief, so it's a good person to rely on here. Now, you're dealing with some of the bad cases, right? You're not talking, basic misdemeanor, jaywalking, and stuff like that. You're talking some serious stuff here.
Correct, yeah. So the cases that our appellate team handles are going to be the felony convictions. Okay. The misdemeanor convictions, sometimes, there are very few types of misdemeanors that you can actually get a jury trial. Okay. One of them is the domestic violence cases because of the collateral effect on your right to bear arms. So those cases, if they do go to a jury or to a jury trial in the justice court, we would get those. But the court hasn't had that many of those trials. Even though there's been this jury trial right for those cases for the last couple of years, our office has only had one, and we won it.
Oh, good for you.
So there was no appeal.
Wow.
There you go. So all the appeals that I've handled are the more serious felonies that result in a prison sentence.
Okay, and we're going to get into appeals here in a minute. But your grandfather, tell us a story about your grandpa.
So my grandfather was in World War II. He was in the Army. He was I want to say 2000. No, we're in the 1943 was when he went in. Okay. And when he got out of the military, he was a lieutenant. Got a number of awards for his service. I know he was in the Ardennes. He was in several of the big battles.
Oh.
But yeah.
Well, that was the greatest generation, as everybody says, and knows. Goodness. Man, those were, as I like to say, those are real men.
Yes.
Yeah, all the veterans are real men and women, but that was what really brought everything up.
Oh yeah, I mean to serve in that war with the stakes so high, and really, you know, protecting the whole world order.
Yeah.
And then, you know, then when he came back, he was a carpenter, and so one of his favorite things to do as a hobby was he would make windmills. And so the backyard was full of all these gorgeous windmills that he would make. You know, you go back there and you just see them spinning.
That is so cool. Yeah. My mom and my grandma were really into windmills. So we had them all over the place too. Then my mom got into lighthouses. So I didn't know where I was, you know, Denmark or wherever the windmills are,
Right?
Holland or on the ocean. Now, here's something that I really enjoy talking about with you is what are you doing right in this? What's coming up? Is it November, right?
In November, yes.
Okay.
So I am a candidate for Nevada Court of Appeals, Department 1. It is an appellate court seat. And what you do in the Court of Appeals is you decide appeals from the cases that were in district court, which is basically what I've been doing for the last 9 years at the Clark County Public Defender's Office. I've been presenting appeals to the court, and what I would like to do, you know, come November after I'm elected, I would like to be, you know, have the ability to help decide those appeals and serve our state in that manner. I've got both the civil and criminal background. So while I've just been doing the criminal appeals for the last 9 years, before that I have 8 years of experience handling labor and employment matters. On the civil side.
You got the whole gambit covered here.
Yeah, and
nice.
and before that I clerked on the DC Court of Appeals and got to actually, that's sort of where I got the bug for wanting to do the appellate work, seeing kind of how the sausage is made and working with a judge in Washington DC was.
That must have been a great experience.
It was wonderful. It was
well, no wonder you're so highly recommended for this job. It's outstanding. Now, we talked earlier about the percentages, like the breakdown of types of cases you would be dealing with in appeals court.
Exactly. So the Court of Appeals, it's a push-down model. So every case that is filed with the Nevada Supreme Court, and roughly a third of those cases get sent down to the Court of Appeals. And Court of Appeals is known as an error correction court, and it is designed to quickly resolve cases that can be decided under existing law.
Okay.
So the types of cases and the proportions of cases that they have, 61% are criminal.
Okay.
So you know, I'm right there. I've got the expertise to handle those 61% of the cases, and then 29% are civil, general civil matters, so torts, you know, contract disputes, things of that nature. That, you know, pretty much when people are fighting civilly over money, those, you know, that's a large number of the cases. So I've got the experience for having handled those type of cases for approximately 8 years at Littler Mendelsohn here in Las Vegas, and then. There's a class of cases called original proceedings, which is, you know, you're not appealing from a court decision. What you're doing is you're initiating a complaint directly in the appellate courts and saying that maybe a judge overstepped their bounds.
Oh, okay.
So mandamus, they've got kind of fancy names. Certiorari.
They're Latin and they're too long.
Prohibition, yes, all these cases. So approximately, I want to say like 9-10% are those.
Okay.
And then 3% of the cases that the Court of Appeals gets are family law matters.
Only 3%.
Only 3%.
Well, that's wow. So you've got 97% experience.
Yes.
On this.
Yep.
Wow. Let's remember that in November, huh? That's outstanding. Well, you know, I gotta say thank you. When I first met you, we talked about veterans and about your court, and I was mesmerized. I stood there like, wow. I mean, it was very impressive. You're impressive. We wish you all the best.
Oh, thank you, Bob.
You know what? I know you're going to win.
Oh,
so I'll just shake your hand now.
Much.
All right? Well, thank you so much, Deborah. Deborah Westbrook, if I can talk today, you're next appeals court judge, so look for her on the ballot. All right?
November.
That's right. And I talked to Peter Plebos, our chairman and attorney. Yes. You got our support.
Oh, thank you so much. I am honored.
Oh, we're honored. You kidding me? Yes, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that's all we have time for today, so we'll see you next time on Voice of the Veteran. Have a great day, everybody.